Hi, everyone. In this chapter, we are going to see themes of art. Art can hold many meanings and inspire multiple interpretations. So it may reflect more than one theme. So let's see what kind of themes of art we are going to see today. So first theme is the sacred realm. And the second theme is politics and the social order. And the third theme is stories and histories. And the fourth theme is picturing the here and now. And the fifth theme is invention and fantasy. And the sixth theme is the natural world. And the last theme you are going to see is reflecting on the human experience. So people throughout history have turned to a world we cannot see except through faith. The sacred realm of the spirit like gods and goddesses, and spirits of ancestors and spirits of nature. So each society has formed its own view of the sacred realm and how it reflects with our own. So for example, like this, Christianity on the left side, Islam, the middle one, and the last one, Buddhism, and etc. So the sacred realm is one of the popular themes throughout the whole art history. And the next theme is politics and the social order. So this is an oil painting by Eugene Delacroix, Liberty Leading the People in 1830. So what you can see in this painting, in 19th century, art remained deeply involved with politics and the social order. So this is an unforgettable image of Parisians having taken up arms, marching forward under the banner of the tricolor, representing liberty, equality, and fraternity. So Eugene Delacroix, the liberty leading the people, leaves no doubt about the artist's support for the revolution of 1830. And Delacroix completed the painting in the very same year, and it retains the passion of his idealized view of the insurrection and the hopes he had for the future it would bring. And here's another example for the politics and the social order theme. So this is Pablo Picasso's oil painting, Guernica. And this painting is one of the Pablo Picasso's best known works. Can you guess what the painting is about? So let me just briefly, explain the background of this painting. So on April 26th, 1937, Nazi Germany bombed the Basque town of Guernica. So it was one of the worst atrocities of the Spanish Civil War. So this Pablo Picasso's painting, Guernica, is regarded by many art critics as one of the most moving and powerful anti-war paintings in history. And some artists use narrative or storytelling through their work of art. So they have often turned to stories for subject matter, especially stories whose roots reach deep into their culture's collective memory. So this is William Hogarth engraving printing work. So can you guess the story in this work? So this image shows an here an innocent country girl, Mary Hackabout, and she has just arrived in London in this work of art, and the person who was to serve as Mary's guardian in the city appears befuddled in the background, leaving Mary to be met by an older woman. Unfortunately, the older woman runs a brothel and recruits Mary into prostitution. So a series of tragedy ensure, and the story ends with Mary's death after serving time in prison. And here is another example of stories and narrative. So this is Judith Becker's mural painting, Great Wall of Los Angeles. Judith Becker's work is based on recording history using the concrete walls of a drainage canal. The goal of the Great Wall of Los Angeles project is to represent the histories of the diverse populations of Los Angeles who are underrepresented in history books and school curricula. So the social order and the world of the sacred and history and the great stories of the past, all these are very grand and important themes. But art does not always have to reach too high. And sometimes it is enough just to look around us and notice what our life is like here, now, in this place, at this time. So this is survived in a tomb of Mekatre of ancient Egypt. Egyptian imagined the afterlife as resembling earthly life in every detail, except that is continued through eternity. To ensure the prosperity of the decreased in the afterlife, scenes of the pleasures and bounty of life in Egypt were painted or carved on the tomb walls. So this is an ancient Chinese painting, count ladies preparing newly woven silk. So this is a scene from a long hand scroll depicting women weaving, ironing, and folding length of silk. And the daily work is also the subject of a painting made in Mexico in 1575. The artist recorded their traditional religious rituals, gods, agricultural practices, and arts. So in this scene shown here, artists made clothing and regalia out of brightly colored feathers. So everyone would have different lives and had a different understanding of the world and their places in it, right? So, however, we also would have shared certain experiences just by virtue of being human. So many artists use their personal experience as a theme of work of art. So this is Frida Kahlo's painting, and she was a Mexican painter known for her many portraits, self-portraits, and works inspired by the nature and artifacts of Mexico. So inspired by the country's popular culture, she employed a native folk art style to explore questions of identity, post-colonialism, gender, class, and race in Mexican society. So there is a video in the Moodle Room about Frida Kahlo to show her life with her works. So please watch the video to understand her works of art based on her experience. And the next thing we are going to see is invention and fantasy. So there are lots of things and lots of things happened in this painting. So can you read this painting? So what can you see in this painting? So hundreds of nude humans cavorted in a fantasy landscape inhabited by giant plants and outsized birds and animals. The people are busy and inventive in the things they do too and with one another. And they seem to be having a fine time, but their going on are so strange that we are both intrigued and repelled by them. And nature and our relationship to it are themes that have often been addressed through art. So during the 19th century, many American painters set themselves the American landscape as a subject. So this is Thomas Cole's oil painting, The Expo. He depicted the great looping bend of the Connecticut River as seen from the heights of nearby Mount Holyoke in Massachusetts. And landscape is the most important and honored subject in the Chinese painting tradition, but its purpose was never to record the details of the sight or view. Rather, painters learned to paint mountains, rocks, trees, and water so that they could construct imaginary landscapes for viewers to wander through in the mind's eye. So we just went through 7 main themes of art. So there is a sketchbook project related to this chapter. So please go to the week 2.2 forum sketchbook project 2 logo design. So I'm going to show you, you will see the guide video in the forum section. Bye.